Welcome back, everybody, to the Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel. Getting ourselves set up and situated here, but we are ready to go. We had a whole lot of events happen right before the end of the last session. Got quite the turn of events with that outpost being attacked. Definitely want to hear what everybody has to say. Central Arise, don't worry about us. It's not entirely unheard of that things become tense between Erebonia and Calvard. I mean, I'm sure that's the case, but usually that doesn't result in destroyed buildings. That's usually a bit too far, I would imagine. Once every few years. Oh, is it normally this bad, though? New North doesn't seem like the safest bet. Don't get too worked up about all this, guys. You know that we're used to doing this. Has this happened before? Some fatalities over at the Watchtower. Yeah, the guards. Well, I mean, if war breaks out, it'll be much worse, I would imagine. We have a duty to keep our families safe from that. Ilfa? Ifa? One of those is an I and one of them is an L. Ilfa? We'll take Amir's Yurt, and Ragna will take Elder Ivan's. Be careful, you guys. Make sure you're back before it gets too dangerous. And Gwyn's driving the truck, okay. Walking back to my cabin on my own would have been a bit rough. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a bit of a serious time to be making jokes, but it is what it is. Leaving things here to us, yeah. Follow your heart. I guess it is a little strange, because in this case we're dealing with the potential of a war breaking out, and if that is the case, Gaius isn't actually like, he's not actually an Erebonian citizen, right? So, normally he would get out of here. Like, he would leave with his family. All the negative emotions currently spiraling around this land. Anger, sadness, and distrust. She can feel that? Well, we'll do what we can. It definitely merits some investigation. Because it's so strange why they would even attack. We talked about, like, how it's not really valuable for them to do that in the first place. There's some Erebonians before, and I want to believe that they're not the kind of people to needlessly start a war. Well, I mean, speaking for the Erebonians, I'm not 100% sure about that. We've encountered a pretty significantly varied number of individuals. What I can say is I don't think the general is the kind of guy to start it. The general we met at the gate, he's doesn't really seem the type. Yeah, they definitely want to get out of here. I'm kind of surprised in a way that they would even settle so close to the border, but I suppose it's not really up to them. I imagine they sort of settle wherever they can graze most effectively. This might just be one of those places. Because some scary people are coming. I don't want to move, though. Oh. Makes me sad. We do, but, you know, we want to make sure everybody around here is okay before we leave. Pretty much no matter how much they say that, I am pretty worried. They don't really have a way to effectively defend themselves, do they? I mean, they're a small group, so, you know, moving around's not that hard, but at the same time, if something bad were to happen, I don't think they're really capable of protecting themselves. Ilfa, comrade. Oh, it's the horse, okay. He's always bursting with energy and hates having to deal with carrying things. Ah, okay. So that's what Tomo was figuring out, was which horses were going to take what yurts. Okay. That's interesting that he's, like, trying to plan it out of which horse is going to take what. I wonder if it's, like, a weight thing, or... One more hut to run on over to. Heave ho, heave ho. Oh. That's a good kid right there. Hacking everything away while the men discuss our next move. We're used to this, considering we do it several times a year. Yeah, but picking up and moving in a hurry is one thing compared to moving with the seasons, right? winter doesn't generally just sneak up on you. You know when it's coming. Alright, well. To the southern islands, we gotta go figure some stuff out. We ride. Go, lads. Well, I mean, putting us through this, what does it have to do with you? Yeah, I was gonna say. Dreams about being in scene 4. Yeah, I was gonna... You're the newsman. Go deliver the news. It seems really strange. How are they both attacked at the same time? And the other swiftly retaliated? That's... I'm dubious. We have a bit of a... We have a empowered position as the viewer because we got to see what happened, like, from a perspective that no living person was able to see, other than the guards, which I feel kind of bad because they were the ones that gave us that perspective. And they're dead now. So, it's definitely interesting. Alright, everybody. We ride.
Yeah.
Let's go. Same as last time. Kind of just going from objective to objective. We don't have a lot of reason to fight everything around here. I'll be interested to see how they respond. I imagine they're going to mobilize pretty quickly, but it's kind of a question of what. Are they mobilizing for a defensive position? Is there a counterattack happening? Who's communicating either way, too? I imagine there's going to be a political mess, right?
That's one of the Imperial Army's airships.
Oh, there it goes.
This situation is looking worse by the minute. We need to hurry.
Are they heading to the gate? Yeah. You can actually see him pass in front of the gate. That's really nice, actually. It means he's not even on the skybox. Like, that's an actual model that was on screen.
Those are armored cars from the Imperial Army.
Damn, this isn't looking good.
I mean, what were we expecting? I can't imagine there would be any other response at this point. Why have an armored division up here if not for this reason? So there's one tank, 3 tanks, 1 new tank, 2 old tanks it looks like, and some armored cars in the back. 3rd armored division. I guess I find it kind of interesting that when you hear about like an Imperial force, right, they normally wouldn't have this free of press, right? Where they're allowed to take pictures of an active military operation. That seems very open for the government that we've seen so far. You'd find him so he can tell us what's going on here. I suspected you might show up. Lieutenant General. I guess he was riding around on a horse out in the fields. Ah, okay. That seems like a weird thing for a general to be doing, but okay. Oh. Freight train bound for Ruhr departs 30 minutes from now. Oh, he wants us to get out of here. As quickly as you can and return to the academy. Huh. While things ultimately depend on the actions of the Republican Army, the bottom line is that we may be mere hours away from an armed conflict. Yeah, it definitely looks like that might be the case. Did they not relay that message to you? I guess, did we leave before that arrived? Can't just turn tail and pretend none of this happened. I mean, we're students. Should we really be getting involved in this? I respect that our field study implies we should help out with things, right? We should, like, do a bunch of stuff and try and get involved wherever we are, but is this... It might be a stretch even now to say that this is part of the field study. Oh. Have we? Still under investigation. Well, if it's ambiguous, we should know, right? We know whether or not we attacked. So if the answer to whether we attacked is no, then... Yeah, my insurance is that the Imperial Army did not attack. We did not make the first move, nor have we retaliated. So... the only explanation then would be sabotage. Several guards lost their lives. As the officer in charge of Zender Gate, I have a duty to act. But without information, that seems strange. Damage sustained by the Republican Army base was in fact deliberate sabotage by their own forces. How bad was that damage? Major structural damage. Their losses appear to be at minimum equal to ours. Honestly, I'd estimate them to be far greater. So all of this... anyone with a brain looks at this and is like, hey, something's going on here, right? This can't be, like, it has to be more complicated than this, right? There's no way that they would sabotage their own place, blow up more of their own buildings, and kill more of their own people for the sake of taking down this, for having, like, a Casus Belli to attack this watchtower in the middle of nowhere. Leisurely discussion over our possibilities was an option. Well, I mean, are they attacking us? We're prepared for the possibility of armed conflict. I mean, don't get me wrong, it makes sense to be prepared, but... Gaius definitely doesn't agree. Oh. We want to add to our tasks an investigation. Huh. I mean, why not? Yeah, I guess Gaius might be the best equipped person. Especially, because you gotta imagine, if a war breaks out here, this place is doomed. Like, all of this will be ruined, just laid bare. Okay. Do you really? That's an investigation, I guess. It's certainly possible. Risk getting caught in the crossfire. I mean, we're Erebonians. This is what we're here for. This is, I mean, it's... We have a military force and our own outpost out here. If anything, if we have all of the reason to be here, Gaius, I get it, it's his homeland, but this is a war that means just as much to us. Yeah, furthermore, exactly. It's part of the team. Use this. Pull in the noble card. Said to meet us back at Heimdall Station. The most important thing is that we all come back safe and sound. Everything else is secondary. That means everybody, right? Currently 10. I will permit you until 12:30 to conduct your investigation. Well, we've surprisingly gotten a lot done in a short period of time before, so I'm pretty confident we can figure something out. Any potential conflicts until at least then. We haven't a moment to waste. Visiting the watchtower that was attacked. Yeah, that's probably the first place to go. Oh, we get the cutscene run. We ride in formation like no other. I cannot understand how we managed to hold exactly the same formation at all times.
Really, I appreciate it more than you know.
I mean, guys, it's your home. We definitely don't want to see this place lit up.
It's no big deal, honestly. I agree with Elisa. We're classmates after all, and more than that, We're friends.
Well, this is clearly of great importance to you.
I know you want to protect your people, but that's not the only reason you're doing this, is it?
You got me.
Oh, furthermore, I'm pretty confident Gaius would do it for us, so isn't that the whole idea? Friends, allies, first thing that you... Anytime you see somebody sacrifice something for somebody else, one of the first things they always say is, well, they would do it for me. And I honestly believe Gaius would do that for any of the party members, so screw it, we're going in.
It ties back into why I accepted the Lieutenant General's recommendation and entered the Academy, too.
Okay.
I'm sure each of you feels the same about your own homes, but I love this land with all my heart. The wind racing across the highlands, the vast mountain peaks, the clear blue of the sky, the breathtaking beauty of the rising sun, the melancholy of the sunset, the twinkling of the stars in the twilight.
Laying it on a little thick, but I get it.
I love everything about this land of Nord. It's part of who I am.
Wow. I guess it hadn't sunk in how much Nord means to you.
Well, especially for somebody who lives off of the land, they're usually a lot more connected to it.
I'm certainly attached to Ruhr, but
Yeah, I mean, it's just a city. I mean, there are a lot of people who live in cities that it means the world to them, but less so, I imagine, than a small group of people who live relying on the land itself.
I can't think of anyone else who would state their love for their homeland so poetically.
He is the artsy type.
If you love it so much, why did you leave it behind? If you truly love Nord, if Nord is such a part of you, what is it that drove you to enroll in a military academy in a foreign land so far away?
I appreciate Yuzis for asking. That is a very good question.
I'm not surprised you'd find it strange. To be honest, I'm still not totally sure what compelled me to do it. Back when I was a kid, the Republican Army built a base in the Eastern Plains, and the Imperial Army responded in kind with their watchtower. It's made me more uneasy with every passing year.
Okay.
Years ago, a traveling priest from the Septian Church taught me all about the history of the continent. One thing that stood out to me was just how many lives have been lost during the conflicts between the major powers.
Okay. So you sort of, even as a kid, try to wrap his head around, like, casualty numbers, right? Because it's always a hard thing when you read, like, hundreds of thousands. It's a number that's hard to fathom.
Another major theme was just how profound of an impact the Orbital Revolution had on people's lives. Even the concepts of time and distance have changed so much. In effect, the Orbital Revolution shrunk the world.
That's a pretty common description of the Industrial Revolution, right? The world became much smaller.
It made me realize a sad truth, one that kind of scares me even now, that there was no guarantee my homeland could stay at peace forever.
Okay. Yeah, you realized the world was moving past him, in a way.
That one day, it might be drawn into outsiders' conflicts, and be occupied and redistricted into oblivion.
Okay.
I can't believe you were thinking about such weighty things even as a kid.
Must have done a whole lot of reading.
So then, you joined the Academy in order to learn more about the outside world that posed a threat to your homeland?
Yeah, something along those lines.
Fair enough.
When I realized how afraid I was, I knew I couldn't close my eyes. I wanted to do something, anything, to protect this land. As luck would have it, I met the Lieutenant General. He's the one who told me about Thor's military academy.
Okay.
One thing led to another, he offered me a recommendation, and before I knew it, I took him up on his offer. So there I was, green as grass, heading off to study abroad despite having no clue what life in the Empire was like.
Sounds like a bit of a brash decision, but I think it was pretty cool.
Thinking back on how it all came together, what you said is probably what I was thinking back then.
Honestly, I've yet to hear a student offer a more galvanizing reason than yours for enrolling at the academy.
He's just like, yeah, I mean, you're probably the most, like, overly prepared person.
I have to agree. I don't know too many people who love their home so much that they leave it behind to find a way to protect it.
It's not a sentiment I can imagine many Erebonians feeling, that's for sure.
Again, I think that's sort of an imperial thing, right? And the idea of an empire is to go take whatever resources you need to make sure you don't need to leave the country to find, learn, etc.
But I think I finally understand.
But it definitely wouldn't be the same for people outside of it.
Elisa?
We're broadening everybody's horizons here, yeah?
Just an idle thought. But having heard Gaius pour his heart out to us, there's no way we can just walk away from this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, now we're even more motivated.
Not after the people of Nord gave us such a warm welcome and treated us like family. Indeed, I couldn't have asked for more.
Agreed. We'll get to the bottom of what's going on here and stop Ward from breaking out.
They seem, at the end of the day, they are just students, right? So this is obviously a little overly ambitious.
Nord may not be our home, but it's still an important neighbor. I'll do what I can to aid you.
Thanks, all of you. Really, thank you.
It is a little overreaching that they'd be able to accomplish something like this, but it is sort of in line with what we've been doing on all these field studies, right? It's sort of an escalation. So it's a little more believable from a story perspective, even if it's unrealistic that there's students who could stop this war from breaking out. Clearly there's a lot of people involved that are going to make that decision, not just a handful of kids. But the fact that we have escalated each issue, each month that we've done a field study, it feels like something they could accomplish. Like the characters have earned the players' belief in them, right? Like you feel like, yeah, we can get it done. What the heck? Why not? I appreciate the steady escalation until we reached this point. Shell damage everywhere. Didn't think I'd ever have to see anything like this. I mean, you joined a military academy. Yeah, I was gonna say, exactly. Use this as like, I mean, you really must have expected this a little bit, right? Need devastation to be a spark that ignites war with Calvard. Yeah, I appreciated that it wasn't. And Emma's, bringing it back here of like, hey, you know, we are just students. Looked impossible before, haven't we? Hey, Reen, bringing the team together. Every time we come through, we just have to stay calm and think. I'm sure we can do something here. Doing what we can. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's all we've ever really been asked to do for our field studies. Just go out there, do the best you can, and have an impact, even if it's small. Get their permission to start an investigation. Warrant Officer Samari. Lieutenant General Vander gave you permission. I see no reason to refuse. Armed conflict could begin at any moment. Got our hands full staying on guard for potential threats from the east. You can speak, but don't get in the way of what they're doing. Makes sense. It seems wise. Gather all the information we need and start piecing it together. It is kind of amusing how often I'll say something and the story will kind of fill in the blanks to exactly what I said. In the interest of honesty, like I've said a couple times before, I have played the game. Of course, that was years ago, so I understand and remember the story in broad strokes. Like, I remember all the main stuff. I legitimately don't know what they're going to say moment to moment. I don't have that, like, remembered by any means. It just happens to turn out that way sometimes. Alright, let's give this a look. That is an unexploded shell. Can we maybe get some distance here? Unusual about the scrap metal? It's a bomb. Hello? Team? It's a mortar shell manufactured by the Reinford Company. And we know Reinford sells outside of Arabonia. There are a couple of models capable of firing... There are only a couple of models capable of firing this kind of shell. The fire was made by the Reinford Company. We assume that's true. It seems less likely that the Republic was responsible. I guess they probably wouldn't sell to Calvard? Weapons made in the Empire. Account for deception. Seems unlikely Calvard would go this far to conceal their involvement. Though considering the stakes, we can't entirely rule it out. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible that they got their hands on Reinford's guns. We know Reinford sells to other countries and whatnot, and if that's the case, they could have easily obtained one secondhand. but it is a bit of a stretch. So that, with other evidence, could be enough. Zats! He's alive! But Rowan's dead. Oh. Rowan, why'd you go and die on me? Oh. Zats. It was right when the shifts changed. Rowan came out to relieve me, and I was chattering away with him like always. That's when the first shell hit us. Must have been around 3 in the morning. Started around 3. Yeah, we remember that. It was 2550? Right in the middle of the night. Should notice something was off, but that explosion completely took me up by surprise. I was so sure nothing would happen out here that when something actually did, I was totally useless. Well, I mean, I don't know what they could have done, really, other than maybe run away faster. I'm sorry, Zats. I mean, I kind of agree. I agree on both sides here. Obviously, Zats, he has a reason to feel bad, because in a way, it is his job, and in a way, he failed, but there's very little he could have done to stop a bunch of mortar fire. Wonder if it really was the Republican Army doing after all. Need more information. Zats doesn't think it was them. Happened before we came under attack. We heard an explosion coming from the Republican base. When we looked, we saw smoke pouring from it. Both sides were attacked. But did both attacks really happen around the same time? If so, it's unlikely that either army was responsible. Yeah, it's super strange that both bases would be attacked at exactly the same time. That's... like, it reeks of third party, right? Private Manning. I lost some good friends last night. Still having trouble getting over it. Rowan might have been the hardest working soldier here. Can't believe he's just gone. We'll do everything we can, Manning. I don't want to see anybody else around here. You have to die for some sort of pointless cause here. I keep telling Zats and Manning to get some rest, but they just won't listen. Can't say I blame them. They're the only ones who survived the attack without suffering major injuries, after all. So these guys are from the actual gate. Everyone else is dead or hurt. How's the situation with the Republican Army? Looks like they've been hustling over there. From a number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area. I mean, same goes for us, so that's not surprising. And even from over here, it looks that way. Lieutenant General said that the Republican base got hit at least as hard as the Watchtower, if not harder. We believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and sure as hell looks like one. I mean, that's a little ridiculous, to be totally honest. I can't really subscribe to the idea that they would do that. Just got overzealous with their explosives? Come on now. The soldiers here all seem to have their doubts, but without any hard evidence, we're not going to be able to convince them of anything. Should reconsider the possibility this was a deliberate attack of sabotage by the Calvard forces. Some thought, definitely. From now on, we at the 3rd Armored Division will be stationed here to take over surveillance duties. First and foremost, though, we need to get a thorough understanding of what's going on here. Summaries here, too. Okay. To focus all our vigilance towards the east. You have my permission to conduct your investigation and speak with my men, but stay out of their way as much as you can. That's very telling. He says he wants to focus all of his attentions on the east. So, if there were a third party, if we were to surmise that's the case, they must want something... They want their attention elsewhere, right? For some reason. If not to start a war, right? Obviously, that's certainly a possibility that that's what the goal would have been. But if it wasn't, right? If we were to assume that this third party has an ulterior motive, what would it be? I'm from the 1st Engineer Squad of the 3rd Armored Division. We brought a lot of tools and materials to help clear away the rubble, but you're welcome to use them if you want. I can sell some of the materials to tune up your ornaments, too. Oh, he's shot. Awesome. Can we get upgrades here? Not really. Kind of. I don't have any money. It occurs to me. Do I have any mass? Of course not. That'd be too much to ask for me to have money or be equipped at all. Alright, let's get the rest of these slots open, because I think I can start to finish some of these off. Alright. We're close. Pretty severe. I can only assume it caused by some kind of mortar. The perpetrators better not think they'll get off lightly attacking an Imperial Army facility like this. So this is our last point here. Let's drop a save. Doing some Phoenix Wright stuff over here. Some investigative, it's not journalism, it's not mediation. The building is in rough shape. And to think there were casualties isn't going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. That much is certain. Most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attack could have done from the highlands? Seems very likely. Where on the plains could they have launched the attack from? Need some kind of clue to even know where to start looking. Need to analyze what we learned. First, we established a good picture of what happened. Best place to start. First of all, what time did it happen? 3 a.m. You know that. That wasn't all that was going on. That's right, the Republican Army base also came under attack, and according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage. Yeah, we can safely, at the very least, be dubious that they bombed their own forces. There's no evidence that the Imperial Army launched an attack either. Both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. We have evidence to suggest that either side... There's no evidence to suggest that either side is responsible. Most likely scenarios, responsibility lies with another party. Exactly. A third party is working behind the scenes to provoke both countries to start a war. That's certainly possible. Compared to other areas of similar political value, the North Highlands have always been peaceful. I can conceive of no other reason either country would decide to break that peace last night. Like, we talked about it a couple times. There's not really a lot of strategic value to taking over Nord Highlands, and it's not like they even attacked. Like, what merit would it have to blow up this, like, outpost, right? If they were going to attack, they would have attacked. There's no reason why they would have just blown up the outpost and then attacked later. It doesn't help, right? You're not like, you're giving up the power of the element of surprise for what? Exactly. The negatives would far outweigh the positives for both parties. If this were Crossbell, it might be a different story, but here... Now that you mention it, we found something else odd about the attack on the watchtower, something that seems to point to third parties' involvement. The weapons. We're talking about the shells, I would imagine. The mortars used by the attack. The orbital mortars they used in the attack were an old Reinford model. I, for one, find it pretty unlikely the Republican Army is packing Erebonian-made weapons. It does seem unlikely, right? It's not impossible, but it's still... It lends a lot of doubt. They have little reason to be, considering the Republic has its own major orbital technology manufacturer, the Verne Company, responsible for manufacturing most of the arms used by the Republican Army. Then there's the fact that the mortar used here is old. The Imperial Army hasn't used this model for years. Military surplus sometimes makes its way into the black market and ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Well, I mean, at the same token, it could end up in the hands of the Republican Army, but it still comes back to why they would go through the trouble of doing that. But if it were to end up in the black market in the hands of mercs or something, maybe they get hired to do this by somebody? again, what kind of mercenary force would get themselves involved in that sort of situation? Sounds like a lot more hassle than it's worth, unless they're getting paid a lot of money. What do you mean? We didn't know where the attack was launched from. It sounds like it must have been south of here. Without a valid vital detail, all our speculation thus far is for naught. If we intend to avert a war, we need more than speculation. We need conclusive evidence. Okay. What is it? Oh, we're gonna use math. Oh, Emma. Breaking out the angles and stuff. The location of the damage together with the speed and trajectory of the mortar shells. So, because she mentioned there's a limited model, like, of mortar launcher and the mortar itself, we have a generally accurate idea of how far they can shoot, what angle they would need to come in from, and since we know it's coming from south, you could get a pretty accurate range, I imagine, of like where it would have to be, like a cone almost, of taking into account the winds. Of course, certainly possible. Maybe it'll estimate the area for which the mortar was fired. And even an estimate, it would just no matter what, it's going to narrow down where it could be. Specifics of the shell that was used. It's an old model, but I should be able to give you some rough data. After another look at that damaged area and start our calculations. Ooh, got an AP. I mean, this is why we learned military science, right? Was for this kind of situation. Calculated a rough location. Mortar was fired from a location to the south here. I mean, that was kind of obvious. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, like a cone, where you'd be able to say it has to be in this circle, because otherwise it would be outside of their range. Likely launched from somewhere in this area. According to my calculation, the launch site shouldn't be too far from here. Can't believe you managed to work that out. I mean, it's not... Obviously, it's hard, right? It's not easy math, but it could definitely be done. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I'll enjoy watching Ragnus really sweat it out, trying the best you on our next midterm. Aw. Applied physics. Cool. Got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands. Let's take a look and start looking, everybody. Reported their findings to the soldiers in charge and asked them to relay their intel to Zender Gate. Afterwards, they set out on horseback to begin their search. Start looking where the mortar actually fired from. If what Emma calculated is correct, it should have been fired from a point south of the watchtower, most likely from a point that's easy to overlook it. Or, oh, point that's easy to overlook, okay. Find anywhere that fits the description, rely on the map to help us. Wonder if the culprit could still be there. That seems a bit unlikely, it's been hours, right? If they're good, they cleaned everything up and hid the evidence, but if they were in a hurry, which is certainly possible, they might have left something behind. Yeah, it's got to be right there, okay. I mean, that makes the most sense. Hug our way along the walls here. That's a ladder. But there's, like, shrubs and stuff up. I wonder if they were put there? Oh, I wasn't supposed to get off my horse? Okay. You found something. A ladder. What's a rope ladder doing all the way up there? I can hardly believe its presence here is by mere chance. Yeah, I was gonna say. It's pretty It's pretty obvious that it's gotta have something to do with what's going on here. People of Nord use this area for anything. Not that I've ever known. Yep. Perhaps the mortar was fired from somewhere up there. It certainly seems worth a look. I'm not sure how we're gonna get up there. We can't reach the rope ladder from down here. Oh. Elisa's orbital bow. Shoot it down? Let's time the ladder. Perhaps we will unroll itself and allow us to climb up. I mean, okay. It's not impossible, I guess. I'm glad you think I'm that good with the shot, but I really don't see it working. Why not give it a try? True enough. Time is one resource we don't have much of, yeah. Give it a shot. Ah, Emma's gonna magic it down for us. It actually worked. Making himself a great hunter. Ah, yeah. Seems this is a day for lucky shots. Quick draw, Lisa. Or did that arrow glow for a second? Urine is catching on. Now that we can reach the ladder, why don't we go up? They just left them. They just left the mortars set up right here. How did the military not see this? They have airships. The smoking gun we were looking for. I mean, come on. How obvious could it be? This is... I like this game. I like this game a lot. But this is a little ridiculous. All Reinfer models too. Okay. Looks like they've been used recently. Well, obviously. This is where they were hiding. I can see why they chose this place. Who would think to look here? Just fled the area after firing them, leaving the launchers where they were. That's really sloppy, to be honest. These alone do not furnish enough evidence to avert the war. I mean, yeah, but they certainly... Again, it's certainly possible Calvard purchased these guns and set them up and all that to, you know, throw us off the scent, I guess. But it's a little bit of a stretch. Yet a bit more evidence. Still, it's a solid step forward. We should return to Senator Gate and let the Lieutenant General know. Let's go report. I still can't understand how they didn't see them. Like, you're flying overhead with airships. Like, this would be the very specific thing you'd be looking for, would it not? I made sure they can't be fired again, so don't worry about that. Oh, I don't know how you would do that with a mortar, but I'm sure there's a part you can remove that disables them, right? Like a firing pin in a gun. So... down we go. There. Isn't that? Oh. It's the girl. The blue-haired girl. Flying object that was fleeing the Aurochs fort near Berea Hard. There's no mistaking something that strange. It looks like it's carrying something. Now, we know, the audience knows, she's involved with the RMP in some way, like the Railway Military Police. If that's the case, I would find it unlikely she's involved with this. At least with causing it, so to speak. But our characters don't know that. They're heading northwest. We're going after them. Saddle up. Close, chase, and find this floating silver object before the time runs out. What's the time? 2 minutes? Okay. That's not that hard.
We can't let them get away!
Oh, weird.
Right. We need to overtake them.
Oh, I'm getting stuck on terrain. Oh, and they disappeared. Are they on the map? Oh, they are.
Yeah!
Crap, they're fast.
Just don't lose sight of them.
Where's it going? Gotta try and cut an angle here. Catch up. Definitely gain some ground here. Now is it gonna go left or right? Left. Okay. So it's gotta be going to the top of this stone structure area.
Did they touch down near the stone circle?
I mean, they're still above us.
There's no escape for them now.
Well, they can fly and we can't. If they don't come down, we just can never catch them, so we're clear. We are at a pretty distinct disadvantage, but for some reason it doesn't seem to notice we're chasing them. Or she doesn't seem to notice. Can I save while this timer's going? I can't even open the menu. Okay. I did it in less than a minute. You give me all kinds of time. Can sense them up ahead. Really? Yeah, it's weird who can sense life force. This thing is... It's that thing we're chasing. Corey is finally within reach. I think it was carrying a young girl. Oh, we could tell that from here? Interesting. Find out what we're dealing with soon enough. 1 AP. Hey! And now I can open the menu. Okay. I just wanted to save before we get to this, whatever's happening here. What is it? Ugh. She really does look like a child. The silver construct with her. I like that word. Save the speculation for later. We need to capture them before they escape.
I think that about covers everything. Now, what to do? It'd be easy enough to overpower them, but there's a good chance some of them would get away.
Who is she talking about?
But just killing them all seems really cruel too.
Halt! Stay where you are!
We're...
Ooh, it's the military academy students.
Are we playing police at the moment?
She knows about us?
Oh.
How?
Just who are you?
And what's that thing beside you?
Many, many questions.
So, who are you? Were you involved with the attacks on the Watchtower and the Republican Army's base?
We'd rather not accuse you of a crime you didn't commit.
I appreciate us kind of coming into this a little bit slower.
But can you at least tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Worthwhile questions.
How did I end up being the bad guy?
I mean, are you?
This is gonna make things a bit sticky.
Just
Oh, I know what I can do! Everything will go hunky-dory if you guys help me out.
What?
what?
What are you talking about?
Can you just answer the questions?
But first, I hope you won't mind if I give you a little test, just to be sure you're up to the challenge.
What? What is happening right now?
Is that a challenge?
I guess we're fighting.
I'm Milliam Orion. And this is Era Getlum, but you can just call him Lammy for short.
Aragatlum.
Okay, let's get started.
I guess we're fighting her.
Let's get started.
We're on like a time constraint
turn.
right now. And we're just like, yep. Time to get into a brawl with this young girl and her robot. Okay, whatever. No
Now's
command.
our chance. Don't let it pass.
Okay.
For some reason, I remember her being pretty strong, so we're gonna be careful here. Oh my goodness,
do
just
this.
some HP, my dude.
Turn to
Flamberge?
flames.
good damage, actually. Buster Arm? Oh, no. Ow. Oh, my goodness. Okay, that hurt. Oh, okay, okay. This is what we're up for. Need to sneeze.
It's my turn.
Ugh, sorry about that. We need to spread out. Because that AoE punch in the mouth was not ideal.
Get him!
Ow. Okay. Not the end of the world.
My turn.
We can deal with this. Does she get
I'll
delayed?
handle this.
Not really. Okay. I would have loved to get some speed.
Arcus, activate.
Speed up Reen. Is she gonna get up? Okay, she is. I need Reen to get in there. The problem is that she's apparently just focusing down Elisa. And I don't want to just run over there and have us both get punched around by the AoE. Oh my goodness. Can you stop, please? I need to scan her.
The enemy's vitals. I've got it.
Okay. Millium. Level 30. A mysterious girl gives orders to a silver combat puppet with her, overpowering foes with powerful strikes.
My turn.
Start
Arcus,
attacking her from
activate.
range.
Go!
Can I even close the gap to heal? I can. Let's do it.
Huh.
Need to get Elisa up at least.
Let
I need
me! Barrier!
ultimate barrier. Okay.
Thanks!
My turn.
She's got a shield. Does that negate one attack, maybe?
Here we go!
Well, negated that at least.
Okay.
It seems that it negates the one attack. That's okay though. Crescent Shell.
Full moon, shield us from harm. Crescent shell.
Drop a tarot.
Right.
See if maybe
Go!
she targets Reen instead. Riot Beam. Why is she so insistent on hitting Elisa? I don't understand.
My turn.
She's just not like blondes? Like what is happening here?
I can do this.
Get further away, please.
My turn!
Okay.
Go!
Oh, wow, I actually imbalanced her. That's
It's
pretty
my
nice.
turn.
Heal yourself.
It's my turn.
So we're running into kind of an action economy issue, I guess, at this point, which is to say, I don't think Milliam gets enough turns to win this fight. Unless she has some sort of big attack that changes the whole thing, which is not impossible, but
Are you alright?
ooh,
Thanks!
auto tier. Ooh,
My
that's
turn.
awesome. Keep shooting airstrikes at her. I'll take
My
1,000 damage turn. No complaints from me. What we are gonna do is use that 200 CP.
Flames,
And blow her up.
my blade. Strike!
3,000. Good, good. Riot Beam. And she's shooting Elisa again. What's happening? I don't understand how Reen is anywhere near that either. That's a little bogus to me, but
Arcus active.
fine, we'll go big.
Okay.
Grand Press? Why not? Let's just use some big
I'll
magic.
handle this. Arcus,
Whatever big magic
activate.
I've got, drop it on her head.
Now.
Grand Press. She makes like the least phased sound effects. Just like, oh. Aw. Like she's just kind of like mildly annoyed about getting hit. Oh, Arena's in rough shape here.
Won't give up. Sorry.
Let's get
With
Gaius
pleasure.
out here. Do I just drop Calamity Hawk? Is that the plan? Now we're gonna attack her. That's fine.
My turn.
Airstrike. I might need this CP later, right? Like, this fight's mostly in hand. We haven't actually seen Elisa's special, so we're gonna do it.
This is my secret weapon. Charging normal energy. Hosanna arrow.
Wait, where did our Gatlum go? Why was he off screen? What just happened? Alright.
Now. Guess I let my guard down. We should be safe now.
Got her, everybody.
Wow, you guys are pretty tough.
She seemed to take that loss well.
Yep, looks like you'll be great for the job, all right.
We've had quite enough of your wild chases and your games.
You were the one who attacked both of those military facilities, weren't you?
Really? Is that...
Oh, no, that wasn't me. Ugh, what can I say to make you believe me?
not attack us would probably have been a good start.
Just tell us what you can. Anything you know that might help us find out who was actually responsible.
You said you wanted our help? If helping you would restore peace to the Highlands, we're ready to help out however we can. But you have to talk to us. Help us understand what's happening.
Come on, you two.
What do you mean?
I hope you don't come to regret your naivete.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little girl, really,
You
guys.
said your name was Milliam, right? We really don't have much time. So could you tell us what it is you want our help with?
What is it?
Well, what I want you to help me with is capturing the small armed group responsible for attacking the Watchtower and the Republican Army's base.
Why didn't she just say that from the beginning? I mean, I know the answer is because Milliam is... I mean, you can clearly tell what kind of character she is, but...
What did you just say? You saw those mortars earlier, right? There's a bunch more hidden near the Republican Army's base. I'm
Okay.
guessing it was the same group that set them up at both locations.
Wait.
Do you have any idea who this armed group might be?
Well, I'm not 100% sure or anything.
So she's been investigating this the whole time.
But they look like a bunch of Jaeger dropouts, so I'm guessing they're working for a pretty meaty chunk of Mira.
Jaeger dropouts. So they're not Jaegers.
I was on my way to go find out for sure.
Wait, then
You know where they are?
Sure do. They're up in the north of the Highlands. If you promise to help me out, I'd be happy to show you the way. So, how about it?
As unbelievable as that is, we don't really have a lot of alternative options right now.
all right. You have our aid. I'm Reen Schwarzer, Thor's Military Academy, Class 7.
Gaius Wurzel.
I'm Elisa Reinford. It's, nice to meet you.
My name is Emma Milstein. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Eustace Albarean.
I love how many times we have to just introduce everybody.
And just so you know, you still have much to answer for regarding your intrusion into Auroch's fort.
And yeah, I guess Eustace would probably have an issue with her.
You knew that was us, huh? It'd be super cool if we could just, put that whole thing behind us for the time being.
For the time being, yeah.
If we must.
Now.
Nice to meet you all, too.
More party members.
Anyway, what are we just hanging around here for? Let's make for the north of the Highlands.
All right. But I'd like to swing by the settlement first.
Probably a good idea. The base, too.
Yeah, we should use their telephone to report back to Zendergate about everything we found out so far.
Okay, let's get going then.
Why can't we just ride over
yeah.
there?
Are you going to be riding on the back of your thing?
Well, I could, but I think I'm gonna ride on the back of your horse instead.
Your horse? She means Reens, I
Wait,
would assume.
What?
Lammy!
Yes! I skipped over it, but wait. What? I love that. I say that a lot.
Whoa! It vanished.
So we've definitely seen a creature that behaves in a similar fashion used by Sarah before.
And the way it did so seems familiar
Yeah.
somehow.
Come on, are we going or not?
The party hasn't put two and two together, but anybody
Let's go
watching
catch us some big bad wannabe Jaegers.
the meme faces on Milliam, though. Look at that face. For reasons unknown, she's carrying an Arcus unit and is capable of forming combat links with the other party members. What? Excuse me? Why? Why put that in, why the green text? Alright, let's get Reen back out here. I'm a little partial to having Reen in the party. And there's Milliam. Milliam. She has Buster Arm, Ultimate Barrier, and Gigant Breaker. I want to say it in I can't change her gear, I don't think. I can't even put accessories on her. Interesting. Can I do anything with her ornament? Can't change her gear. What does she have anyway? Tira, bunch of earth stuff. So she's earth, water, and whatever the silver one was. Okay. That's fair. She's got pretty good amount of health. Pretty high defensive stats. Actually, she has a ridiculously high defensive stats. That's crazy. Oh, and we get to see her riding on horseback. There you go.
Yeah.
Woohoo! This is amazing!
If you keep squirming around back there, you're gonna fall off.
She's having a good time. I'm not sure. Everybody else is all, like, really somber and serious about the fact that there's a war potentially about to break out. Oh. Oh, I wanted to go check out the gate. Same day, noon. Is that... What is it, guys? That's a Calvard airship, isn't it? A Republican Army airship. What's doing this deep into the Highlands? Invasive reconnaissance or something like that, right? I mean, it's an accurate description, yes? Basically trespass with just enough force to see what the enemy's up to and how many troops they've got. And also oftentimes to see, you know, whether we're prepared to stop them. Actually, it's quite common to just kind of send fighters over another nation's airspace, just close enough to see if they're paying attention. Just who are you? It's a secret. Thank you, Milliam. Don't you guys need to get a hold of Zendergate? She's right. Let's move. What's up, Toma? We saw a Republican airship flying overhead. It's been circling up there for a while. Okay. Is there really going to be a war? We're trying. We're trying to stop it, because at this point it's becoming very, like, abundantly clear that there's no reason for that. So you have reason to believe the armed group is hiding in the Northern Highlands. Yes, it seems like that's what's going on. On our way to investigate. All our hopes are pinned on this. I'm extending the deadline to 3 o'clock. Okay. Trying to postpone any conflict. So the culprits used to be a member of the Jaeger Corps. I've heard the term mentioned before, but I know little of them. Well, we know a little bit more, but without having Fee here, we're a little limited. They're trouble, that's for sure. You're not wrong. Yeah, we're going to do everything we can to make sure no one starts a war. Especially, again, because it's become very clear to us, not everyone else, but at the very least us, that there's no reason for that. Even if I wish to sway you, your mind is already made up. We're pretty resolved at this point, yeah? Pick up orbital waves from your Arcus units. Now you give me a call if anything happens. Okay, so we can use our cell phones here. Mind the wind. And the goddess guide. May the wind and goddess guide you. I'll be praying for your safety. Alright. Let's jam. Milliam's having a good time. Northern Highlands. Are they hiding anywhere? Probably know a place. A huge statue north of here. There's a creepy old ruin around back. Ah, they're in the quarry. Cool. How's everyone doing around here? Good luck, everyone. I don't really know much about what's going on, but I really don't want to see Nord turn into a place where people are killed, regardless of where they're from. If only war could disappear forever. It's not that simple, but I appreciate the sentiment. I have no intention of stopping you. However, do not lose sight of what you need to do. You didn't come here to shoulder the burden of a war. Your priority should be to return to your homes unharmed. You need to take care of yourselves. I hope you understand that. I appreciate her, like, coming in to be like, look, if things get bad, you don't need to die for this. I set this telephone up here a while back. Modifying it will be a piece of cake. Good job, Gwyn. You'll be able to contact it through your Arcus. Call me if anything happens. Don't do anything reckless out there, though. Well, I think what's really nice about that is Gwyn is acknowledging that because time is so limited, if we do end up finding them, even stopping them potentially, we need a way to get that information out as soon as possible. So him making sure we have a communication line is a big deal, actually. Head to the ancient quarry. Don't plan on stopping you, but there are rumors about an evil djinn residing there, so be careful. We've fought a couple demons in our time. You know, we get around sometimes. We do that stuff. I haven't fought anything so far in this session, it occurs to me. There's no one in here? Oh. Obviously, she's outside. I was wondering if there was anybody in the building. One of the kids, or maybe. Really don't want to see a war break out. It's not so bad for us, since we're pretty mobile. We can return once it's over. I'm not sure you'd be able to return. Even if it ends, right? This place is going to be in rough shape. I'd leave it if worse comes to worse. Aww. And we definitely don't want to see these two broken up. No, I can't be getting distracted thinking about Charl when I've got to be packing up to do. Focus. Focus! Don't worry, Toma. We got to keep their little romance going no matter what. We didn't have time to teach Khotan how to ride a horse either. Got plenty of time to teach him later. Besides, seems to have the brains over a brawny type. I don't think there's any rush. Really does take after you. Not every child can memorize medicinal herbs like that. Ooh. Taken after his parents. Preparations for our departure are almost complete. However, I plan on delaying it until the last possible moment. Be careful out there. May the blessings of the wind and goddess be with you all. Worry about the settlement. I won't let any harm come to it. Whether a war breaks out or not does not seem to depend entirely on all of you, though. Does seem to depend entirely. Oh, it or not does. It's entirely on us. Good to know. Let your guard down either. If your opponent are Jaegers, they're extraordinarily skilled. We fought some pretty skilled individuals at this point, so, I mean, if anyone's going to be equipped to do it, Special Forces or us, and we're the ones who are here right now. Who might this young lady be? Oh. Sorry, that's top secret. Something else out with our current situation. She's having a good time, right? Milliam's enjoying herself. I won't say that's all that matters, because there's a bit more important stuff happening right now, but, you know. A little bit of lightheartedness here, right? Doesn't hurt. Everything's fine here. We should be able to head out immediately. They look so fluffy. What the? Who might you be, young lady? Who cares? Things will be dangerous around here soon, so get out while you still can. Anybody here? No? Okay. Oh, the very young kids. The stuff from Khotan's house has all kinds of different smells. It's all herbs, yeah? Smell medicinal herbs like water lilies and cotton root. That's what Daddy uses for his medicine. Alright. I still want to drop by the gate. I still want to see what's going on over there, so we're going to go to the Southern Highlands first.
Yeah.
Promise we'll be quick. We gotta just ride on over there in a hurry. So there was something I missed in one of the previous chapters because I didn't actually exhaust every bit of dialogue in the game, which is one of those things where I try really hard to do that, and I feel like maybe I take too much time to do it a lot of the time. And then the one time I don't is the one time I actually miss something. So in situations like this game actually does hide things sometimes way back in completely unrelated locations. As it happens, there was a side mission in Bereahard where at some point during the whole Machias nonsense, you had to go all the way back to Aurochs Fort to talk to one of the guards there, and I missed it. So in the interest of not having that happen, I'm trying to exhaust everything. So I don't, like I've said a couple times, I don't use a guide while I'm playing, but the game clearly tells you when you miss stuff in your report card, so I will sometimes go back to see what it is I missed so I can kind of learn from it. So what I learned was not to assume that things aren't hidden on the other side of whatever active area we have. Been given permission to take pictures under the condition that they need to be checked afterwards. Either way, I need to get started. People of Erebonia need to know. All the tanks are fully loaded and ready to fire. We won't hesitate to show them our firepower if the situation calls for it. I mean, best be prepared. They could attack really at any moment. I like their little emblem there. Imperial Army of Erebonia with the 3 and the horse. The first armor unit is ready to move out at a time like this. Oh, it's you guys. Sorry, I don't have time to chit-chat. Things have gotten serious over here. I have a book I was reading in my downtime. Looks like I won't have time to sit back and read it anymore, though. Hey! There was a Red Moon Rose chapter hidden over here. These tanks are all old models at this point, but we've come to trust them and their potential after many years with them. That's kind of an interesting thing when, like, new model equipment oftentimes will be better in many ways, but the experience that you have with the older stuff can oftentimes, at the very least, at least early on during the transition period, outweigh that. And since we know that those tanks that we see up front there are brand new, it's certainly possible that these tanks that we're seeing here could even be more effective for the time being. But the fact that we're getting put to use once more, though. I guess they were kind of hoping these tanks would never need to see combat again since they've been up here in the boonies for so long. He's here in the Highlands multiple times now. Private halt. We'll be ready to go in 10 minutes should the order come down. That seems like a little longer than I would have expected, actually. I would have figured they would have been ready to go within, like, 5. Currently in the operation room. You're welcome to head over there and have business with them. Try not to get in the way, though. There's so many soldiers, dudes. Calvard airships are far too close for comfort now. Looks like we'll have to brace ourselves for the worst. 4th Base Defense Fire Team is currently operating at level 1 alert. I suggest all of you get out of here while you can, unless you want to get caught up in all this. We can't actually enter here, I don't think. No, it's an invisible wall. Oh, it's you. Current situation does not call for your assistance. Oh, okay. That's a little curt. Makes another move against us. We intend to launch a counter-offensive immediately. Doesn't believe in being merciful to its enemies. If war begins, there will undoubtedly be many casualties. 2nd Armor Unit, move out. Things are escalating over here. 1st Base Defense Fire Team reporting in. All clear. Good luck out there, and stay on guard. Completely sealed off the gate over on Erebonia's side. Sorry, but we can't let anyone through while the situation remains like this. You found out the true culprits are hiding. As frustrating as it is, we aren't in any position to move out ourselves. Things are already reached the boiling point, though, so be careful out there. Yeah, they can't really help us, because if they were to mobilize a bunch of military forces into the Northern Highlands, it would probably provoke an attack, so try to be quiet. We're currently in the middle of planning our counteroffensive. Culprits are a group of Jaeger dropouts, correct? You can capture them. We may be able to prevent a war from breaking out. You have until 3 o'clock to do so. Be careful. Yes, sir. Thank you, General. I'm weird. It is a little weird that he doesn't be like, why are you here right now? Go do the thing I told you to do. If Calvar chooses to attack us, we'll have no choice but to retaliate no matter the situation. I mean, I agree there. I mean, if they're gonna attack, we can't just let them. We would just prefer that not happen. Soldiers at the Watchtower aren't a part of our division. We all serve under the same military. Can't allow their deaths to cause a new war. Take care of things here, so just focus on catching whoever did this. For the soldiers who lost their lives. Zendergate would have to take up arms. I guess being attacked doesn't really leave much room for debate, though. Remaining idle would be putting both our country and our families at risk. What's up, Charles? What's happening over at the settlement? Is everyone okay? What about Toma? We got no way to finding out from here. So no need to worry. They're making preparations to relocate before war breaks out. They're used to having to do this. Nothing to worry about them. Still, there's a lot of tanks and airships being deployed. Who knows what will happen if full-scale war breaks out. It's hard not to be worried about the nomads when things are the way they are. Fine. Do me a favor and let Charles know that all of them are okay. I really can't stand the look of her being worried. I mean, I'd be kind of concerned about bringing my daughter up here and then a war breaking out. That's a little, you know. There's nobody. Oh, there is somebody here. Oh. Hello. Oh, okay. There's a medical area. A number of people died in the attack, and those who didn't will most likely never be able to fully recover. This is the life we signed up for. Every soldier lost a comrade. But coping with it is the fact that your comrades have died. It's never easy. It's hard to relate with that kind of thing unless you've been through it, so I won't say that I can, but all the same, I respect the portrayal they're going for here of how hard it is to deal with that, but the military soldiering on, as it were. Alright, now we gotta go to the North Highlands. I wonder if we should stop by that outpost. Should probably do that. I'm actually kind of limited on time, unfortunately. The stream will probably end once I get back to the settlement. Just wanted to get, you know, an hour and a half or so in here, and that way we can really set ourselves up to finish this field study during our next session. So, just something to keep in mind for anybody watching. Want to make sure we exhaust everything. I wonder if the guys at the outpost will have heard about what we're doing or have anything to say about it, really.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the danger music. I've been apprised of the situation. You should hurry to the ancient quarry up north. The area is effectively a battlefield already. There's nothing more than a group of students can do to help here. Keep close contact with Zendergate. There's no need to worry about anything here. We won't budge until the Lieutenant General gives his order. Roan would still be alive if not for me. And that's why I can't just sit around and do nothing. Just you watch, Roan. We'll work hard enough for the both of us. Zat's definitely got very galvanized by the death of his friend. Besides, you do realize that a war starts, this place will be the front line, right? Armored cars moving northeast. They're really starting to spread themselves out now. 12th airship of the enemy's Aldebaran airborne unit sighted. Getting ready to make their move. One of the volunteers who joined the lookout team. We lost good soldiers, but that's all we. There's more reason to keep on doing what we can.
Let's get going.
Yeah, things are looking bad, but
Yeah.
it's enough putzing for us. We got some war to thwart. Kind of a hard way to say that, but...
Whoa!
Oh. I didn't even realize the horse did that when you tried to run them off a cliff. Oh no. Sorry, whatever this horse's name is. I don't... was it ever said? It must have a name. Oh well. We'll get back to the settlement, and then I think that we will be signing off for this evening. It kind of surprises me, on a technical anecdote here, it kind of surprises me how nice this horse's shadow is. And with Milliam and Reen on the back. Obviously it's meant to be a little nicer because it's the PC re-release, but for a Vita game that's just kind of up-resed and made to look a little prettier, the shadows are in pretty good shape. Alrighty. So we've already talked to everybody here. We also need to kill that monster that Lacan sent us on. It is on the list of things we needed to do, so maybe we'll do that before we sign off here, actually. We'll go take care of our optional quest before we head over to the quarry. Where is the quest monster? That is the question. It was on a cliff or something, he said? Oh, there it is. Oh, it's not even that far away.
Yeah.
Let's ride on over there, take care of the big guy, and then we will sign out.
Oh, if we keep up this pace, we might make it in time after all.
Not might. We will make it in time.
Milliam, I don't really... I guess she probably doesn't really understand the gravity of the situation, like how serious it all is. I don't know if she's just like being, you know, irreverent and doesn't really care, or if she just legitimately doesn't understand. I would be more inclined, given her appearance, right, how young she looks, to be more inclined to say that it's probably just ignorance.
Watch out. This is a tough one.
Alright, this is a stone golem. I mean, you're not wrong. It's a pretty apt description. Let's get some buffs going. Oh man. Okay, so physical attack is area of effect.
Arcus activate.
Let's heal.
Okay.
It's a real shame that I need to spend this crit
Analyzing the
detecting,
enemy's
but
vitals.
even if I attacked, it's not like Emma was going to do all that much damage.
I've got it.
A golem created from stone, which appears in Erebonian legends, can create earthquakes by stamping on the ground. This thing is kind of magical. I don't really understand. No one really wants to comment on how this thing came to be. Like, how did... Obviously, there are a bunch of monsters, but at least those are, like, organic in nature. This thing is just a golem.
I leave this to you.
Come on, Lammy.
Now, if I'm reading this correctly, he should be quite weak to be getting punched by Lammy right here.
Now's our chance. I've got you.
How? Okay.
Are you all right?
Auto tier, I'll take that.
Right.
Shoot him again.
Fire.
Alright, let's get Reen behind this thing, so we're not just standing right in front of it getting punched in the mouth over and over again. See, that's not so bad, because at the very least, Reen's on the other side.
Okay.
Because I can just heal him, right?
Activate. Here I go.
Okay, what does Buster Arm do? Impedes and feints, physical immunity, class SSS, turns Arrogant Limb into hammer and strikes foes. I'm incredibly interested in using that attack, but we're not gonna.
Activate.
Let's get some healing set up, and then we'll focus on the offense.
That's for you. I can do this.
Can I debuff him at all? Flamberge is a burn option.
Turn to flames.
If I could burn the rock, maybe.
Burn.
Go.
He doesn't appear to like it. So his strength is raised, and so is his health. just hit him. We just need to start doing some damage. Ow.
Yeah.
What was he weak to? Kinda weak to wind.
I'm sorry
Could
for the
use this
trouble.
out
I'll show
here.
you how it's done.
What does airstrike look like? Like, how much damage does it do? Alright, so he gets staggered really easily by
Okay. There.
Arigatlum. That was a little pitiful, but that's okay. Alright, so this thing's tanky as heck. That's kind of where we're at this point. It's just
Right.
chopping down a tree over here. We're just
Go.
slowly gonna bleed him. Because at this point, I don't think he could kill Reen. Like, Reen just has too much health.
Yes, sir.
So we're just kind of punching him until he dies.
Now.
Normally I'd use a defense debuff, but the people who have
Very
that
well.
aren't in my party right now.
Now is our chance.
It's no
Don't
big
let it
man.
pass.
If I can get, because it's a speed buff, yeah. Oh goodness. Oh, that's not that bad.
It's my turn.
I was concerned, but not as much so anymore. All right, blessed arrow.
Hang in there.
Get a little bit of healing there.
I suppose I should thank you. Go.
Arc slash, any good? He resists.
Here I
I'm
go.
just trying to wrap my head around what I should be doing here.
Now's our chance.
Because he has like 30,000 HP or some nonsense, right?
my
So
Very well.
can I... Our defense, maybe? That might help us out.
Be gone. Ha! Here we go.
I guess we'll just flame slash him. Let's just see what it does. Right? It's the worst that could happen. Damage? 2,000? That's not great.
It's my turn.
It's not awful, but it's not great. The other issue here is we're kind of getting hurt a little bit as far as HP goes. So let's... As long as it just keeps punching Reen, it's not that bad.
Here I go.
Giant Breaker?
Come on, Lammy.
Gigant Breaker? I would have expected nothing less. Oh, he doesn't resist that. Okay. Crystal Saber?
You're in the shoe. Crystal Saber.
That's the most progress we've made to this point, is just throwing our strongest attacks at him and praying that it works. Like, that's sort of where we're at this point.
Sorry, would you mind?
Guys, you want to get in here? I was gonna say, somebody has... I know Reen has Impassion, right? So... So our best bet's going to be to cast Impassion on Milliam. She does the most damage with her S-Craft. And then just try and get her CP back up to where she can let off another one. Do I have a way to recover CP effectively in here? I should have food that gives me some amount of CP. Problem is some of these are pretty valuable. I think what we'll do... We'll get some HP regen on Reen, who
Very
I think
well.
is actually about to die.
I leave this to you.
I'll take it from here.
Unfortunately, Laura does not have an S-Craft, so...
Arc
Arcus, activate.
That is not an option for us. Let's just get his health back up.
Thanks.
Perfect. Easy.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh, he turned to try and hit. Oh, he's gonna hit the whole party. And Reen absorbed the
Here we
hit.
go.
And then teleported back to where he was before. Okay. I can dig it.
My turn.
Punch. Okay. Oh man, just getting CP back pretty well. That's good.
Leave it to me.
He can Wild Rage, right? That's 30% of his health. That's not good.
Handle this.
I'll handle this.
Doesn't Blessed Arrow restore CP? Perfect.
Hang in there.
Thank you very much.
Alright, we've almost got her back to 100, which is good. Earth Pulse, Tira, Teeter, Analyze, Lacrest. Let's drop that on Reen since he's the one getting punched over and over again.
Go.
Rush,
Leave it to me.
since we can.
Yeah.
It's like 100 damage.
No.
This thing is so beefy. I don't understand. It's just like it's like a test of patience more than anything else. Just, hey, are you willing to just beat on this thing for the next 10, 15 minutes?
Now. I've got you.
One. That did 1 damage.
Here we go.
Whatever. Reen just keeps slapping it.
Go.
I'll help. It's my turn.
Now she Serene Blessing restores CP, doesn't it? Yes, it
Hear me.
does. Haha. Give me that.
Thanks.
Cool. Alright.
My turn.
She's gonna have 200 soon.
Now. I've got you. It's my turn. Sorry,
I think
would you
Usus
mind?
did pretty
show you
good
how it's done.
damage with his. So if I Chrono Drive, get some speed, that'll help us
Here we
out.
go.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Like, we're not really in danger, right? Like, the thing doesn't do all that much damage in the way of, like, it doesn't feel dangerous to fight him. He's not particularly trying not to talk over the dialogue because they're quite loud. I was going to say, they aren't particularly dangerous by any means. They just...
Arcus, activate.
Or the enemy isn't particularly dangerous. It's just slow.
Yeah.
Just S-break it. Damage? I could go for some damage right now. 4K,
Very well.
almost 5. That's not bad. Get in there and start hitting him. Oh, 0. Never mind, don't do that. Or 1.
Here we go.
It's not 0. That is an improvement. If ever I saw one.
Hear me.
Serene Blessing.
Thanks.
Very well.
Use your most powerful wind magic. See if it is effective at all. 700
Here we
damage.
go.
It's probably worth it, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
I need to get Impassion on her.
Now's our chance.
There.
Should have had Reen do that. Pulse.
Arcus,
Herself.
activate.
Too slow.
Now.
Reen with his evade tanking. I can take it.
I'll handle this.
Okay. So Usus does have aerial, which at least does
Arcus,
damage.
activate.
More than
My
none.
turn.
Impassion's gonna help Milliam get her CP back up. We're gonna go ahead and Oh wait, does that cancel his cast? Really? That's weird.
Gavel on my blade.
I didn't realize. I didn't even know that happened, to be honest. So he was casting a spell, and I canceled it by using his S break. Interesting.
My turn.
Keep punching.
Okay.
Let's see. Silverthorn any good?
Focus
Maybe.
activate.
Try using like one of the elements that aren't the 4. That's 1,000 damage. I can see it.
Yes, sir.
I can see the damages. We're hurting him. Punch him.
My turn.
We're finding ways to get damage in here. Reen's hurting, but
Are you alright?
that's okay. We can do this. We're finally doing damage to him. Even if it's only a little bit.
It's my turn.
Here we go.
Oh, he just got all his health back. Okay, I can dig it. Get Millium impassioned. Keep punching. We'll live this. No problem. Let's drop Gigant Breaker at 100. I don't even care. Just hit him. Almost. We almost whittled him down. Oh, so much damage.
Now.
Silverthorn, that might be it. That might do it. We got him, lads.
Let's keep going.
Holy.
I did it.
Levels.
Making progress.
I'm just getting started.
Easy enough. That one was a toughie. Thank you, Millium. Managed to scrape out a win, but still not exactly sure what it even was. I like I said, the fact that they're commenting on the fact that this golem appeared, like this magical beast, like that doing here in Nord. What is it doing anywhere? You're face to face with a golem. Yeah, reminded me of the gargoyle we fought in the old schoolhouse on our first day of the academy. I agree, it seemed kind of demonic or magical. Let's head back to the settlement. Yep, let's go report in, and that'll be it for tonight. Got a little bit of extra time in since we had that little side job to do. Fighting that thing was a slog, though. I don't mind bosses like that. Like, in the sense of it's just sort of a test of your focus, almost. Like, because had I, like, not been paying attention and, like, got lazy, he definitely could have killed me. But because we were just on top of it, making sure that Reen was always healed and etc., it wasn't really an issue. At the end of the day, though, it's almost more of a stat check, really, just to see if you can survive him jumping every once in a while. All in all, nothing too difficult. Look on, we did it. Managed to defeat the mysterious creature. Yeah, we were fine. Still a bit concerned that it picked now of all times to appear, but can worry about that later. Considering the situation at the moment, I really appreciate you were able to defeat it at all. Terral bombs and EP charges. Okay. That's what I call generous. Those are pretty worthwhile. Those are worth a fair bit of money, so. And we can always use the help since we have a lot more fighting to do today. Thank you. Alrighty. Drop save. I want to thank everybody for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this particular session. We will be back again tomorrow with a little bit more Trails of Cold Steel. Hopefully finish this field study and head back to Trista with without a war breaking out. That would be ideal. Till next time, everybody. Just get this Until next time, everybody. Have a good day.